Okay.
Yo.
All right. So I put it on speaker, but is that
Oh,
gonna give it like
excellent.
Hey
a
Ray,
Yeah, he's
Hey,
there.
hey, I'm here.
Yo,
I'm here.
did
I'm
action
did I
here.
ever.
pick up the phone for you?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm
no.
here. Ray, I see you call. Yo, is that TQ?
What up? What up? What up?
This is
What's the deal?
Academics. Hey, listen, I've been watching your interviews. Which, by the way, I think Blue was trying to put us together. I actually regret not getting with you and doing the interview because I was
Yeah, I
very
know.
intrigued.
I hit you
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I first got pissed off enough to actually finally say something. Because Blue was trying to put us on. He put us on the group chat, and then
I'm gonna
I
be
ain't gonna lie, I wasn't ready to say nothing.
I'm gonna be
And
honest though.
then
I'm gonna be honest though. Because I
yeah,
know this situation been going on for so long. Like I even did an interview with Blue where like there was a part about Blue. He was explaining like some business shit, and we cut it out. And I'm like, I really thought I'm like, yo, listen, Boosie's gonna say what he's saying. I didn't think y'all would respond in full where we could actually understand it. But the way you did the interviews now, like we actually have an understanding of what the other side is. Like because before
yeah,
it felt like all right, one side is gonna be quiet because like they're not trying to say something that's gonna hurt maybe a lawsuit that's gonna come down later. But anyway, no, I watched you on No Jumper and I watched you on Say Cheese, and I thought both interviews gave me like a really good insight of what was happening, but it also left me with questions too, to be honest, right? So, like, what I mean,
yeah.
I'm actually, I don't even know how you got on here, but I'm really glad you got on here because, hopefully I could get a couple of questions answered by you because I was watching, and salute to Wack. I think Wack did a good job of, you know, Wack trying to be a buffer in understanding the business, but also trying to keep the content up. What I was confused by? And by the way, for
What?
everybody who's watching, so the person we have on is TQ. This is Boosie's brother, and essentially, what's been
Former
okay,
manager, and
former
co-founder of
manager. Which, by the way, there's
yeah,
so much history with y'all. Like, I actually
exactly.
forgot that you were the same person that years before or a couple years ago that he was accusing of stealing all type of money from like his checking account, which I always was confused about that whole thing. And I thought you had got
Yeah.
like arrested for it. So it was a lot to unpack. Anyway, I'll ask you immediately about a question that I had from the interview, or the interviews that you did, right? So,
Okay.
so Boosie's saying that his signature was forged. You're saying that, hey, listen, I signed everything for him.
Correct. And and
Okay, go ahead.
I founded the label with him.
Okay,
I founded the label with him.
so
So I'm still on the label. I can sign whatever the fuck I want technically. We
okay,
don't have an operating agreement because it's me and Boosie is brothers. So normally in any deal I do act,
mm-hmm.
I got an operating agreement, but we
Yeah.
never had one. So
And by the way,
yeah,
by the
that's
way, that
the main thing.
happens at times with situations where there's a heavy friendship before because sometimes it gets weird when you got to actually do the paperwork with like your brother or your friend. But anyway, so here's a question, right? So
Yeah,
the forgery he's talking about, because from my understanding, right, and again, I'm reading between like the lines here. Boosie's saying, yo, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Boosie signed Young Blue, or Boosie and you, right? So Badass. Badass signed Young Blue to a production agreement. I likened it to what Mace signed Fabio Foreign to, which usually is probably the standard one that says, hey, listen, we're going to technically furnish these records, blah, blah. But at a certain point, you might be signed to a bigger label, and any subsequent advances or money that comes through, pending recoupment or whatever, we're going to split it. Usually, I think the most standard is like 50-50. Is that right? So you guys, like, because you guys keep saying label, but there's so many different types of label. Like, I could say I literally have a label, and it's just me going to the hood and giving niggas $5,000 and hoping to get them hot to bring to Epic Records that we could really get the bag. So
right.
that type of method is usually called a production deal that you're giving out. because the end goal is to sign to eventually a Empire or Epic or Atlantic or anywhere. Um, and Boosie kept mentioning like he's deserving of half. So am I right with that assumption that you guys signed pretty much again what's what we would technically
Yeah,
call a
it was
production?
it. The business model is more like a production deal,
Yes.
but because it has records and projects and options attached to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was signed. The deal was written as a record deal,
Okay. No. No.
but
Makes sense.
because there was no money advanced, it seems more like a production deal or a development deal.
Okay.
But the problem is, that is the foundation of the problem. It's a weak ass deal because there is no transactional. Boosie does not give nobody in advance. If Boosie gave you an advance, please stand up, say something. You
Well,
feel me? So that's why it gets tricky down the line. So yeah, it's a record deal,
yeah. No, no,
and
no,
it
I
really shouldn't
completely
be a
get it.
record deal because he ain't getting no money.
Well,
But it's in a style. Go ahead. It's in
so
the style of a production deal or development deal where the goal for me is to take him to a label who's going to put up resources.
got you. So I'm also going off what Boosie said. Boosie said, "Yo, hey, listen, y'all remember when I dropped off 20K here, when I dropped off 30K here? Where you think?"
Nobody knows what he's talking about.
So he never gave no money because he's saying
Nobody.
he sent cash over, whether it was delivered by
Huh?
you or somebody else, some intermediary. And here's the thing: even though yes, there might not be okay, sign this and we're giving you this money, which is usually oh this is the front end of the advance, and you got to deliver an
No,
album.
man.
Like
No.
Boosie, a street
No.
rapper,
No. No.
if he put $50,000, whether it's 20K here, is this here, he's
No.
probably thinking, nigga, that's your advance. So that never happened.
No. No. Boosie cannot produce no receipt for
Well, he said
anything.
cash, so he would have receipt.
Boosie cannot produce no receipt for anything. And me and Blue talked about that because when he posted that, me and Blue talked about that because I'm asking, hey, Blue, did Boosie give you this? And what Boosie is talking about, from what we remember, because you got to think about it, this is like 2018 or 19 or something. That's from Boosie like booking a show or some shit for Blue. That ain't no fucking money out Boosie pocket to
Okay.
you know, like that's the type of games Boosie playing. The nigga straight up lying.
Okay. Um.
Like produce a receipt, dog. Produce a receipt. If Boosie would have, if Boosie would have gave Blue money or lost money on Blue, he would have started with that.
Mm,
He would have started with, man, I gave you 50K, I gave you 100K. Like that nigga would have started with that.
oh,
This is shit this is the shit he's saying after I said, man, unfortunately, Boosie has not put up money for Blue.
okay. And by the way,
Or he
to be fair, and technically, and how you're describing it, it definitely falls within that. Hey, listen, you didn't do what you should have done for an artist, or probably what you promised. But listen, you know how this industry is. Like Gucci Man been signing tens of thousands of niggas. Like a lot of times it's not. Again, these are rappers. And sometimes let's forget the rappers. Street niggas kind of be doing some of the same shit. Like, hey, listen, we're just kind of going along to get along to eventually get to a label deal. I want to ask you about
exactly.
that paperwork he's saying is forgery. Was that an official? It sounds like to me. I didn't get the clarification on it. It was a release or some type of paper that allowed him to sign to Empire without Badass being installed in the deal. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
go
his
ahead.
deal with us was restructured that upon his release from Columbia,
Okay,
his deal with us would turn into a non-exclusive agreement and a profit split with Badass Music Syndicate of 3 future albums and we will keep all of his old catalog. We
okay,
will own all of his old catalog. That deal comes. The reason why we even were talking about restructuring this deal is because he was being advised that he can get out of our agreement once he got dropped from Columbia, and we would have ended up with nothing.
Okay.
Okay, we would have ended up with nothing.
Who
So me knowing that,
who
because
brokered
I
that deal?
did the
You?
agreement.
Did you broker that
That's how.
deal?
What you say?
Did you broker that deal?
Yes.
Okay.
The I no. Listen, what I'm saying. I did the restructuring of our agreement with Blue.
yeah. That's the deal I'm talking about.
Just to be clear. Just to be clear, because what I've realized, bro, what I've realized is people were the way like actually Whack 100 did a good job of making me realize this. Niggas think that I negotiated the Empire deal, got money off the Empire deal, and like I did that to get out of. I restructured the deal so that I can go do an Empire deal, and that's just not the case. But I didn't even realize that niggas thought that way. I still don't know if maybe Boosie thought that as well, because you know
Were you
I
managing?
ain't really thinking about this shit. Huh?
Were you managing Blue at any point during the process?
I was no, not when I restructured. No.
Okay. So the way Boosie describes it, and again, I'm reading between the lines, but I know some of these common issues, so I'm trying to ask you since I have you on here now. It feels like he was saying you fucked him out of the label like profits because you and him are in like cahoots, and you're probably getting some proceeds, maybe through the management side of it, and that's why he hasn't gotten paid, or that's why these agreements are going forward. That probably doesn't benefit the label in the best realm, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, I'm not sure if you guys restructured that whole thing with the thing he's calling forgery. I don't know if that's before the Drake record, but I'll be damned if I'm Boosie and you get a hit record with Drake. We not, nigga. You are going. We're not going non-exclusive. You're going to be exclusive over here because I got to get that bread.
Hey, I totally understand that. This was, I think it was about 9 months. We restructured way before the Drake deal. See, hindsight is 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, nigga. If I would have found the issue was Blue wanted money. Blue initially wanted to restructure with Badass. To hey, let me get a better deal, and y'all commit to a financial, make a financial commitment. I will come. I will sign back with y'all, or I will restructure the deal, but I need a financial commitment from Boosie, right? So yes, nigga, if I knew a Drake record was on the way, I wouldn't have been,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Hindsight is 2020, but this shit was way before the Drake feature. Blue was tailing off. Blue was slowing down. We had Ice on My Baby out. We had no, Ice on My Baby was the last single that Columbia had got behind. Things were slowing down. And like I said on the other show, this is at the same time where Columbia had Lil Nas X.
Yes.
So Blue, the writing was on the wall. He knew he was about not if he wasn't going to get dropped, he wasn't going to be a priority for sure. You feel what I'm saying?
No.
So
Completely get it.
knowing that, he comes to us, hey man, if I get dropped, look, I go back to y'all contract. It's a bullshit contract. You know it. I know it. I'm being advised by some Rock Nation attorneys that I can get out of this shit easy. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with the fallout with Boosie possibly going online and trying to ruin my career. I don't want to look unloyal. Like I appreciate everything what he has done for me, but if he don't want to put up money, can we work something out? I got private investors in Nashville. I can probably go to the Orchard. I can probably go to Empire, whatever, and I will give y'all a piece of whatever we mutually agree on. Like, let's talk about that. You
Okay.
feel me?
All right. Okay.
So
Yo, not
this,
not not to cut you off, TQ. My bad. Act. Yo, it's clock out. Yo, but they were saying you signed Boosie's name, like you forged it. Like how? Like what happened?
No. Well, he's
all right.
explained that. No, he's explained that already. Like again, he's the president of the
This is me.
company, so he's signing
Like,
everything.
bro,
So he's signed the
I
contracts
signed
that.
everything.
Yeah, so the
Look,
contracts Boosie has upheld, he signed, and the ones that now he has a problem with, he signed too. So that's not forgery, and I think that's a weak case by Boosie, to keep it real.
and it was weak. The first time he called me with that shit, I was like, bro, come on. I was like, that's some whole ass shit. You gonna really try to say that to get a bag, nigga? You gonna lose.
Well, I
You're
think he's
gonna
saying
fucking
that though.
lose.
I think
That ain't
he's
gonna hold up because I got over 50 contracts where I signed it the same way. Nigga, I signed your name on the art when I founded the company. You were still locked up. I didn't
okay.
even have to do that, nigga.
Okay, okay,
So if
okay.
I signed your name here and I signed your name there, then you gonna make you gonna call into question every deal I did,
All
nigga.
right,
And every deal I did,
hold on,
it's
hold
gonna
on.
be
All
up
right,
to whoever we did a deal with. They can weasel out of that shit because
we've
they can say they
all
were
right. So we've
misled
heard you say that
or
before.
whatever,
We've heard you say that
huh?
before. But I think the fundamental part of it is this, right? So the company Badass, I get it. You don't have an operating agreement with Boosie, but would you at least
Yep,
agree? Would you at least agree with me that Boosie, because he is Boosie Badass, he is the face of it, and he is pretty much the representative of this company, right? Are you
absolutely.
tell?
Everything that I did, we're supposed to be splitting. We're supposed to be
Okay.
busting down.
Okay. So then let me ask you. Maybe the forgery is not that you weren't allowed to sign for him, but in this particular case, you signed without his consent or you signed without his
But that's not
knowledge.
true.
Did he say, "Hey,
But
we're,"
that's not true.
so he said we're going forward with this agreement of letting Young Blue get in a non-exclusive deal that he could subsequently do a deal with Empire. So he was cool with this at first. That's what you're saying.
We had Empire wasn't in the picture.
Okay,
Nobody was
okay.
in the picture.
But was he cool with it? Because I
Let's
think
be
that's a
clear.
fundamental
He
part.
was cool. He was cool with he was cool with letting somebody else put up the money, make them hot, and then we come and get 50% of the profits. Yes.
Okay. So you told him like, hey, listen, we're about to do this agreement, and he says, all right, yeah, I'm cool with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
All
the
right.
business relationship.
Okay,
Boosie,
perfect.
hey,
So so
do
so,
you
so
yeah. Do
now,
you want me to go ahead and lock it in? Okay, we locked it in. The final draft of the contract is in. All right, we'll go ahead and lock it in. The terms are as follows. Check your email, check your text message. Bam, I got the fucking text messages, bro. I just don't want to get into a
okay,
text message. I receipt showing battle online is already embarrassing enough to be putting this shit out there.
okay.
My nigga,
You,
oh,
you
go ahead. Go
you
ahead.
you mentioned also briefly just now. You said the deal, and I'm guessing maybe this is the restructuring. You guys were still supposed to bust down 50% of the profits from Young Blues music. Am I correct in this?
That is correct.
Okay, so
Starting with the Moon Boy album.
okay, and that was released on what label?
That was released on Empire.
Okay, perfect. So now, if Boosie's now claiming he owes $10 million, I believe that's what he says he's going to file this lawsuit. I don't know if he has filed it yet.
He filed it and he just recently dropped it after my interviews.
Okay, and you never know if he's going to refile. But here's the question: did Boosie, number one? By the way, with him just throwing out that number, and also with Young Blue out of his own mouth saying he offered him $2 million, it tells me one big thing: Boosie probably didn't get paid. Number two, he don't know how much Young Blue done made, so he needs to sue to figure out or to get access to the books. Am I correct? Because number one, it does look fishy. If Boosie's so wrong, why the fuck is Young Blue offering him $2 million? And then number two, if why does Boosie believe that after he busted down with you, and I haven't heard you talk about, oh yeah, I need my
Oh
money
no,
too.
this the problem is Boosie don't believe I'm owed nothing, and that's why it's getting ugly.
Okay.
And that's the problem with between me and Boosie. That has nothing to do with Blue. This is some internal brother shit, some sibling hate that this nigga got from me, sibling rivalry type shit. And this nigga don't think I deserve nothing.
Wait,
So
wait, wait,
that's a whole nother thing.
but it does have something to do with Blue because let's make up numbers, okay? I don't want to get too much.
No,
Wait, wait,
it don't.
wait,
It
hold on,
don't.
hold on. All
Because
right, hold on.
if
According to
it
the
has something to
agreement,
do with Blue, if it has something to do with Blue, Boosie would say, TQ, all you deserve is, or you only get, like this nigga don't think I deserve nothing.
hold on, but we got to go a step at a time, right?
Go
Has
ahead.
Empire paid out to Badass all the money that's due based on the contract or the restructuring that y'all had. Because if they have paid it out, yeah, that's just a you and Boosie thing. It's okay, we got $10 million.
No,
How do we bust the $10 million down? Have Empire paid that
no,
out?
no,
Why haven't they paid it out?
no, because we get paid off the profits, and
Okay.
in order to do that, they basically what needs to happen. They need to be audited to see where the books are, and then whatever it is, if Blue may very well still have not still hasn't recouped with from his first album.
Impossible.
We don't know. I don't know. The problem, and then on the top of that, the reason why I don't know, and the reason why
TQ.
there is no, we
TQ.
haven't been able to get to the
TQ.
bottom of it or find out what's owed is because Boosie started claiming that he did not know. He started claiming like he didn't know that that we restructured Blue's deal.
Okay, TQ. Okay.
So go
I
ahead.
feel like
Go
what you
ahead.
just did is like spitting in the air and like telling me it's rain when it drops on my face. Pause. If
Go
Young
ahead.
Blue is offering Boosie $2 million, by the way, maybe y'all don't have access to the books. He definitely has access to whatever quarterly statements is coming from Empire. He knows what they're giving him as an advance. He knows all the budgets. If he's offering Boosie $2 million, I think it's safe to say he probably recouped. Why would he offer $2 million?
To get when Blue was, first of all, Blue didn't have $2 million to give. He was gonna come up with it. He was just, Boosie could never give him, me, a number of what he wanted after we realized he was unhappy with what we agreed to. So that's Blue just trying to give him something to completely void what the agreement that we were in.
Okay.
The 50% of 3 albums. At least that's what the conversation was when I asked Blue, what that was about.
So, but I'm still confused. Why aren't you like again? I get it. You and Boosie, and I've heard about the brother thing, and clearly, you don't have an operating agreement, so we don't know how that money's gonna get busted down. But put it like this: even if me and my biggest op own a company that we're in business with a guy that we're supposed to get 50% of the profits, we gonna fight over the money to the death. But we want the money at least paid out. Let's put it in escrow, then go to court. You, who, in your opinion, it should be bust down between you and Boosie 50-50. If Boosie never
It
got
ain't
nothing,
necessarily got to be 50-50.
whatever that agreement is.
There's no situation where I don't get anything. You feel me?
Okay, whatever that agreement is, if Boosie didn't get paid, it sounds like you didn't get paid. I'm saying, why aren't you supporting Boosie's in his plight to get Empire to pay up? Because if money doesn't come in, even if, listen, 100% of zero is still zero. At least you and Boosie could fight it out. Go ahead.
Okay, when did I say I don't support Boosie getting paid?
Well,
I'm saying that we are owed. We are owed.
Okay.
My thing is, it's always been we. Boosie literally texted me 2 days ago. I'm telling him, nigga, we are owed. Let's see what they owe us.
Okay.
This
All
nigga
right.
text me, nigga, ain't no us. Ain't no we, nigga. Like this nigga cutthroat. I'm trying to tell you. And so when it comes down to what is the biggest problem with the label getting paid, Badass getting paid, is Boosie is denying that this shit ever happened. That Blue could even work with somebody. Boosie is denying that Blue could even work with another company, yet he still wants the company's money. It don't make no fucking sense, which is why he getting his ass whooped in court.
Okay. So then let me get into like some of the minute details of like this company, Badass, right? So who are the representative, like whatever, if it's an LLC, whatever it is, are both you guys' names executives or people who are on this company formation log, because again,
No.
if you don't have an like, for example, if I have a company and I'll take it outside of music and I have 10 niggas who's on the original founders or whatever, and I submit as an LLC, at least in my state, if basically we don't have, oh, okay, you own 10%, blah, 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 and we go to court, most likely they're going to be like, both y'all name is on it. Shit, unless you come with like a fucking audio or some type of agreement, we're going to split it down the middle. Is your name's on the
Exactly.
company as well, right? He didn't just make you president, you own the company as well.
Right.
Okay. So when the company's created, y'all both own it. Why would Boosie then think you don't deserve any profits or dividends? Like, Boosie don't know business?
I can't even answer that because my answer gonna be biased. You tell
Okay.
me. Tell me what you think.
Well,
Like,
listen. I don't take Boosie as
if
an
you
idiot. If you ask me, but again, I'm open to be wrong. In these type of situations, by the way, I listened to your interview and I listened keenly to every word you said. Trust me, when you
gotta
deal
go.
with these rappers, they got tremendous ego. Okay, first of all, like they really don't believe nobody should be paid but them. But usually, if that's their disposition, they would own the company forthright, and then they'll bring you on just to run it, because a rapper really can't run like no label. Like, niggas be busy with their own shit, right? Now, granted, at that point, you are deserving of a salary, right? And maybe you could get points on records, and that could be negotiated or whatever later. But if you own the company with them, if y'all literally establish, yo, we're gonna do badass entertainment. Hey, I'm gonna give the money. You're gonna run the business and do all this other shit. That sounds like a 50-50 venture. If that's
Nah, it
exactly
would. I ain't gonna lie. I was never looking for 50-50, bro. I was never looking for 50-50, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
okay.
You know. Like, I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
I definitely understand what you're saying.
What are you
Um,
what are you looking for? What would be a reasonable thing? If Boosie said, "All right, I give you
man,
10%."
this
If Boosie says, "Hey,
as
listen,
of to,
you were
as
operating
of
like a
today,
manager.
bro.
We'll give
As
you
of
10 to
today, you
20."
want to know what I you
Yeah,
don't want to know what I offer Boosie?
yeah. You let me know.
All right. I said, Boosie. I said, bruh, I would give all of this shit. I'll remove my name from anything. I don't want nothing from the badass blue deal. If you just give me 10% of the Rap Snacks deal I did for you, and you can go after Empire, you can go after whoever you want. Just give me 10% of that deal that I did, because that is like this shit is too sloppy. Just give me 10% of the Rap Snacks deal that I did.
So
And
wait.
I'll
You forfeit any type of profits
badass. I
from
don't even
this.
give a fuck no more. That motherfucker told me, nigga, you ain't getting shit. Nigga, it would never know us, it would never know we, nigga. I do all my deals. I said, man,
Wait, but
I said,
why would you
I'm telling
like?
you.
Why would you, again? Theoretically, right? It sounds like it should be a 50-50 situation. Why would you say, "No, I'm cool
I
with
know,
nothing.
but
Just give me
but but
10%"? That sounds like a manager. That doesn't sound like a co-owner.
I know, but I think it's reflective of I think it's reflective of what I brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? I think it's reflective of what I brought to the table.
Okay.
If I had to start it from the top,
Yeah.
if I had to start it from the top, it would be reflect on based on how much capital I put up. It
Oh.
would be based off, like what my responsibilities were. So I don't like to. I mean, I think it could, it could be 50-50, but I'm not, bro. I'm literally saying that I will give up all of this shit just to get the shit that I care about. I
Mm.
can make another star. Like